everybody, this is Aditi and you are watching me on ETimes. Today I have these extremely adorable, creative and the very talented Masaba Gupta and Bhoopalam joining me. A huge welcome to ETimes and we are so happy to have you here today.
Thank you, Aditi. Yes.
You know, it's a bit unfair that season 2 came after 2 years almost because when I watched season 1... Because when I watched season 1 back in 2020, I was like, season 2 kab aayega? Because that cliffhanger was bang on. And then, not gonna lie, I had a ride watching season 2 as well. It's even more better, funnier, relatable, refreshing.
Great.
Beautiful character growths, love triangles, everything.
Thank you.
So on that note, Masaba, I want to start with you. You know, one really beautiful aspect of both the seasons are how they have incorporated that little Masaba, the younger version of yourself. And it kind of feels that you're constantly being in touch with your inner child. So what was the initial idea behind it and how do you reflect on that?
You know, it's funny, but I don't think I've ever shared this. I was going to therapy in, I think, 2018. And I remember my therapist told me that, you know, do you have a picture, a photograph of yourself as a kid in your house? I said, yeah, I do. And she said, just go home to it and apologize to her because you've kept her suppressed for so long. And I remember we started writing season 1 of Masaba Masaba in 2018, end of 2018, and we shot in 2019. And I said, why not have like a mini version of me who's not just a voice in my head, but she's an actual person who's always there. So in moments of grief or stress or happiness, she's always there,
around,
you know.
in those major scenes.
In those major situations, because I think none of us truly ever grow up. You know, there's always that little part of our brain or our bodies, our conscience that is always saying, oh, you know, I wish I were a kid. And how would little me deal with this, you know? And I think kids have this incredible amount of bravery. They are spontaneous. They are always happy. They're almost foolishly happy all the time.
They don't worry about everything.
They don't worry, you know. It's a very, when is the next meal going to happen? When am I going to play? And when will my mom, TV? And when will my mother come and spend some time with me or my parents spend some time? I think it's such basics that give them joy. So I think that was the whole idea. I remembered what my therapist said and I said, we have to have mini me because I feel like we all suppress the child in us. But we should acknowledge it and use it correctly,
I think, you know, it became one of the very important aspects of the show because most of us, you know, we are still trying to heal that inner child or, you know, whatever you say. So, Neil, I love your performance. Or if I say dhairya, you do have a lot of dhairya in Masaba Masaba too. I really liked how your character grew from being that impatient, strict investor to, you know, toning it down and becoming this hopelessly romantic person. How do you look at dhairya's growth?
Great question. I look at Dhairya's growth fairly simply. It is a combination of the dialogues, what's written, the combination of the situations that one is in, especially season 2. There are these really new situations that Masaba is in, you know, and yeah, her mom's is there, and they have a certain sort of rapport. Then you got Ritasha's character, they've got their rapport, and we, you know, talking about different avatars that one plays. So even in that show, so Masaba Masaba is different with different people in her lives. And there we are thrown together, and there's a scene where in a clinic, I sort of accidentally show up over there, and it's a very good scene.
I love that scene. Now that you see it, I forgot about it.
You know, so by chance, both of them are there. And then what comes off of that thing is, so the newness of these situations and the little personality brief that, of course, I would have gotten at that time, that's just a bit of that. One doesn't put too much thought into how to color it, but more of like when you are on a shoot date, just be as present as possible to absorb the environment and you know, make the most of it.
So, you know, what was it about Dhairya's character that really attracted you in the first place?
I mean, it's Masaba Gupta in the show.
Yeah.
And I have followed Masaba's life. I have also followed Masaba's entire artistry in terms of through fashion. That's without knowing each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when we did finally feature into each other's lives and then have to shoot together, there was one thing, that he was fairly young and having to deal with so much, like being a top investor. I did have to do a fair amount of homework. I'd asked Masaba.
Yes.
This is season 1, where I needed a personality. Like, how would this guy be investing in this money? And a friend of mine, of course, Manan Kotak, who we were in college together, I borrowed some of his personality traits. But when Masaba and I were chatting, this is season 1, then you used to share some stories which were like,
he would ask me, he's like, what would a typical investor do? How would he react? Or, and I remember on one of the shoot days in season 1, I remember Neil saying that, I want to use my glasses. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
When you were in my office, and he said, I want to use my glasses because I think that's a bit of a statement that Dhairya makes, like taking them off, putting them on.
Did its work.
So yeah, I think he was really, and given that Neil is just a fun, chill guy in real life, he just became stern, as Dhairya, which I think was incredible. Stern, polite, not polite.
Yeah.
Stern,
No, in fact, not polite with
not
you.
polite at all. Yeah, he was really like at it.
Quite rude, yeah.
Always
Bit rude in the first season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then there's also attraction, and there is that thing. So one is sort of straitjacketed, and how do you express yourself?
Yeah.
So.
Masaba, another thing, since I watched the entire show, this season also gave a very strong message on mental health and body positivity.
Yeah.
And you being in the creative industry where it can actually be very overwhelming, keeping up with trends and expectations, have there been moments where you also personally dealt with it, and how did you overcome it?
Oh my God, yes. I think, I don't know if it was post-COVID, but a lot of people said that I've had COVID twice now. In a span of 6 months, but I remember that each time I would recover, for that 10 or 15 days, I would just think my heart is going to beat out of my chest every night. And I don't know whether it was just the uncertainty of life ahead of us, because I think all of us feel that. I mean, what's next, Like monkeypox is in Kerala, guys, And I'm just like, what is going on? We haven't gotten out of one pandemic, And then I had my business, and then I had, season 2, I have a new brand launching. So there's just a lot that's always happening. And I just think with me, every night that I go home, I think I decompress. I deal with my fears every evening. I make that a point, because otherwise I would just not be able to get up the next day. Whether it's somebody you want to hire, somebody who's super senior who just suddenly quit, you deal with betrayal, you have feelings of betrayal, you have feelings of, did I do enough? Did I do enough as a boss? Did I invest enough time in this? Did I not do this correctly? There's just questions in your head all the time. But, and I had questions I shot season 1, literally, I went, signed my divorce papers, and I was on set.
Okay.
In the next 15 minutes, So I just think I've become that person. Earlier, I used to kind of put it under the carpet and say I'll deal with it later. But I feel like it just manifests into something else. So you have to deal with it. So every evening I go home, spend a couple of hours without my phone, or with friends, or with somebody I love. And I just deal with my fears. Like, I talk myself through it.
I think, this also showed in season 2 as well.
Yeah.
I mean, in season 1, you were just pushing things off.
Yes.
But in season 2, you were actually,
taking
dealing
charge.
with it. I have to confront them.
Yeah. I think that the simple thing that do one thing a day that freaks you out, it's true. You have to, because otherwise you're just always on edge, True. And I think the more you overcome small fears, the easier it is to deal with the larger ones, I think.
Yes.
Very,
so it's
very
relevant.
Yeah, it's like small things every
Baby
day.
steps.
Like sometimes I want to tell a friend off, and I wouldn't do it. Now I just tell everyone off.
Right.
I don't know why. I'm this angry person. No, I'm just kidding.
Why hold back? Yeah.
I've just started speaking my mind more, and I think the one message we have for everyone in season 2 is that just speak your mind, speak your truth, because if you don't, it just goes somewhere in your body and manifests into an illness. I really believe this.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, Neena ji and your banter is a reflection of every mother-daughter relationship.
Yeah.
Because when I was watching, oh my God, even my mom says the same thing. So, you know, the crankiness, the fights, again, you know, you both are loving each other and again you're fighting. I mean, you know, all those things in between. But, you know, I want to know, growing up as a star kid and then you created your own identity, you know, how supportive has your mom been, or, you know, some of the biggest lessons that she must have imbibed in you growing up?
You know, I credit everything that I have been able to do and become today to the fact that I was brought up in a particular way. You know, I see a lot of people whose parents are actually the reason for their downfall. And that's purely because it's not the kid's fault. If you raise a child to think that the sun shines out of their backside, of course this child doesn't want to work in a day, you know. Of course this child doesn't want to get up and do something. If they have access to all the money in the world, if they have access to a great holiday, if they have access to the best cars, the best things, the best house, how will they ever learn how to treat people well or earn their living, you know? I see parents, I see a lot of grown-ups, and I see them, you know, and I see their kids, and I see that they didn't even teach their kids how to talk to somebody or how to respect the simple fact that, you know, somebody could be going through something. I don't know, it's just I see it more and more, and I think that my upbringing, luckily both my father, who I think also came from nothing, both my parents actually, they both self-made. I mean, my dad pretty much lived in a little hut in Antigua.
Congratulations to your dad winning a Lifetime Achievement Award.
It's like the highest citizenship honor in the Caribbean. So, you know, till today, my father will never misuse a privilege. He will never misuse a privilege. My mother, she till today gets excited that, you know, she told me the other day, she said, I think I've quoted too much for something. And I said, Mom, you're just getting your price at like in your 60s. You've worked your whole life.
Yeah.
So, and then when she's like, nahi, main zyada mehnat karungi. You know, at that age, with her kind of career, to say that is amazing. So I don't think at any given point of time, I was told that, oh, your business is doing well now, you're successful, now just enjoy your money. No.
You have worked
Get up
hard
and work.
eventually.
Yeah. I work hard because I just feel like at any point something can be taken away from you.
True.
And the reason shouldn't be you.
Yeah.
The reason shouldn't be that you're lazy. Like I cannot stand lazy people. I like people who get up there and get their shit together.
Thank you so much for, you know, sharing this out, because this is very inspiring.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get my shit together after this chat. I mean, wow, simply put, yeah, Masaba, awesome.
So, you know, Neil, I remember the last time we spoke, you shared how you are sailing at your own pace and not rushing yourself with projects as an actor. You know, since you have found that footing or that hold of yourself in this industry, how are you ensuring to stay relevant and reinvent yourself at the same time?
I believe that is what is going to lead to me being able to reinvent myself. Because you cannot, there's a line in the first season of Masaba Masaba, which is creativity is not like a tap.
Yeah, you can say that.
So that's the same with us. I mean, one's a practicing artist, right? We are privileged to be, I mean, every human being is an artist, but we are privileged to be like practicing.
Yeah.
And I feel artists need to safeguard themselves and sort of like, yeah, you need a little time, and you also need to be out. And you need a little time. It's an ebb and flow. It's a constant, you know, pendulum yin-yang thing. You can't have just too much of out there, out there, out there, out there. Nobody wants to see you after 3 years or 5 years, and you haven't learned anything because you're only like, you're not absorbing, you're projecting, like you're pitching
there needs
all
to
the
be
time.
A balance.
It's
Unplug to replug.
It's like a sportsman, a sports person only playing tournaments and not practicing. You gotta take it, you know, dial it down and just sleep, rest, hang out, read, all of that. And I think I'm not too worried about it because I will be all our senior performers, God willingly, if I'm breathing by then, I will be at work, dude.
Yeah.
And one last thing I wanted to know from you. Actors these days are so active on social media because I see Masaba's page, like reels, trends, what's up. She's keeping up with it, but you at the same time, you're not that active on social media, and yet
I don't think he's posted the trailer also.
yeah.
I took Nandini's help and I'm like, please, how do you put that little... How do you do
You did. You posted.
Yeah.
I was like,
put
Neen
one
is
cat
not.
thing.
Neen has left the building.
I put something up, but then there's it freezes on Arman's kiss. And I'm like, this is my post. I should be pumping myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, no, I'm going to actually take over the world in the next, I've missed Instagram.
Okay.
I've missed it.
Really?
If I try and catch up, it's not going to happen. But the next big technological breakthrough, I shall be one of the founding members of.
I'm looking forward to that. So thank you so much, guys, for doing this with me. I had a great time chatting with you. I'm waiting for season 3.
Wow, Netflix.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.